Well, since that's happening, you want to go grab the camera now, or you want to wait?
It's rolling now.
Oh, it's rolling. The camera's rolling.
Welcome back. Episode 64 of the kPodcast. We got a special guest here today. Ain't no box for this lady right here, you understand? Miss Tyla, the creator. How you doing?
Oh, my God. Tyla, the creator.
I love that handle that you got because I feel like it encompasses what you do, you know? You create, you connect the dots like you said.
I just make shit. I just create. Exactly. I just create what I want to see.
The builder. I mean, yeah. Bob the Builder, you know?
Barbara the Builder.
Barbara the Builder. Now, how you doing tonight, Tyla?
I am perfect. I am well.
Well, perfect. I appreciate you being here tonight. Like we said briefly off mic, I just wanted you to kind of shed some light for people who don't know. Most people watching this probably do already know you, but for those who may not, what's up, bro? For those who may not, just kind of shed some light on what you do around here. I mean, I've seen you put together
every show.
Yeah, countless shows, being a part of the shows yourself, being behind the scenes for the camera. So, I mean, where do you want to start? You tell me.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you personally because you are like one of the most supportive people I've ever met. And we weren't even, it's not like we were like bosom buddies, but just like from jump, sharing things. I'm like,
of course.
Not even tagging me and you just sharing stuff and I'm on your stories being nosy and it's like, oh, wait, that's me. And coming to so many of my programs and shows, it just means the world to me. And I'm just really, salud. And I'm really just grateful.
Hold up. Damn right. No, of course. I mean, your fam, I met you through my fam, but Gene, you know what I mean? So I already knew what time it was. And I've seen your work. Your work speaks for itself, you know? I mean, where love it needs to be shown, it gets shown. You know what I mean?
I love me some Gene, so I really hope
shouts
that
Gene
listens to this.
We're getting on you here soon, bro. I know you see me.
You need to talk because funny thing about Gene is Gene's a big part of the reason why I can do any of this stuff.
Like photography and videography.
Yeah, Gene was an instrumental part in teaching me how to light and teaching me why light's important and how to focus, how to get the story that I want to tell by lighting. And that was him, you know. How'd
you get connected with Gene?
I met Gene through Matane.
Okay.
And it was I met Gene through Matane for a music video that he was doing for the Brown Honey video.
Okay, yeah.
And that's how we met. And then we reconnected, I think I want to say either August of 2019. Yeah, August of 2019, Gene reached out and was like, hey, I really want to do some work with you. I think you're dope. And I'm like, okay, I think you're dope.
Yeah.
And Gene has just held me down so much like during this growth process. Like nice. He is, I'm so happy for him and he's gone.
Yeah, what he's doing right now, I don't want to spoil his, his wins.
I miss him. But I really hope that he's able to reap all the rewards from the amount of love and patience and care and information that he's just shared so freely, not just with me, but with everyone that comes in contact with him. So
hell yeah. Shouts to motherfucking Gene. Yeah. This is going to be the Gene episode.
Nowhere but up.
No, yeah. Hey, exactly. He'll be on here soon enough. And yeah, again, shouts to Gene. I think this camera's his over here, but so you meet Gene, he teaches you about lighting. This is when you're just kind of getting into photography and videography?
No, I had been doing it for about a year or so.
So but you already had View House established.
I had This Is Tyla's View, which is funny because I started photography and videography not really having a plan or knowing what I want to see from it. I was posting my pictures on my personal Instagram and my friends were like, this is great, but we need you to see more of you on your page. Okay. This is like everybody else's page. So I created a second page called This Is Tyla's View. And I was like, I don't know what else to call it.
This is my view.
It's my view. So fast forward to 2020. we're in lockdowns, and I got some love from my girlfriend, Janessa. Like, we became friends.
Janessa
from Orlando. Well, she was helping out Orlando Weekly. Okay. And she's like,
the magazine.
Yeah. Nice. And she's like, look, I can get you some work. I really wanted to make sure that the business side is established. Like, what's your business? And I was like, this is the time to go ahead and establish the house.
Okay.
And the reason why I named it went from This Is Tyla's View to View House was because I always intended on Gene always working with me. And if I needed Gene to show up where I couldn't or something, it's the house. If you say This Is Tyla's View, you're always going to expect Tyla. And I was like, no, I really want this to be a moment where we can empower other creatives.
Team effort.
To create a team. And that way it can take some weight off of me too. So that's how View House came to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know, do you primarily do weddings, or that's just like one lane?
No, that's just one lane.
That's what I thought. Because when I first discovered View House and everything, it seemed like it was only wedding photos. So I kind of thought that's what it was at first. But then naturally, as time's gone on, I said, okay, here's a whole slew of other shit.
Yeah. So when it comes to View House, I have to make my bread, and as a videographer, there's a difference between being a filmmaker and a videographer. View House is simply for videography and photography. That means whatever is going to come my way. The creative brand or manifestation of me and what I see for me is under This Is Tyla.
Okay.
Because View House is like, with corporate videos, we've done classes, like digital classes to be uploaded on, like Skillshare and those type of platforms for clients. Weddings, this includes event recaps, anything you can think of when a person comes and says, I want to hire you. But these are the guidelines in which we want. So wedding is bound by tradition.
Yeah,
you can't be too
outside the box.
No. So that's under View House. But anything where it's under complete my creative control, my concerts that I film, like any of that type of stuff,
where it's your view.
Yeah.
Hence
it's just Tyla. This is Tyla.
Okay. No, that makes sense. And that's
I don't articulate that because
I never heard that explanation before, and
I don't care to
it does
explain
make sense,
it.
Though.
It's like, do you want to hire?
Yeah.
Are you going to pay me?
You need videos or no?
Right. That's it. That's all you need to worry about. But yeah, it's nice to talk about it though.
And do you? No. Yeah. Hey, that's what we're here for. Do you have a preference as far as like shooting videos or shooting photos, or you just love both?
I'd love both, but it just depends on what the moment is. There's nothing better than capturing video to me, because video can emote so much more emotion than a picture can.
True.
So for weddings, if I were to be in a wedding, I would much rather be the videographer than the photographer. And that's because there's something, you put the right music to it. You capture the cinematic movement of it, the way you edit it, something, you can really make something gorgeous, and that can take the couple or the viewer right into that feeling that they are connecting to, like you're connected. It will emote a tear.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
How often do you look at wedding photos and say, oh, this is going to make me cry?
Yeah, one single photo. No, yeah, you're
but
right.
And also it's foolproof. Rarely anybody gets a wedding video back and be like, this is bullshit.
What did you do to my wedding?
Yeah, but if you got an eyelash that's wonky, or you half smiling and it's something that you don't like how you look, and it's cemented in this photograph, this JPEG, then it's a harder sell. So I guess I would prefer video, but video is much more intrusive. It's much more labor intensive. It's more costly. And it is more tiring, but it's most rewarding. Yeah, for me.
In the end, it's worth it. True. I mean, I know just from fucking doing these short little hour things, these video files can get stupid big.
Yeah, we're talking about.
You got like a utility belt and memory cards with you at all times, or what?
I shoot with a cinema camera, and I need at least 500 gigabytes.
That's fucking
to make it run.
Yeah.
And so usually we're shooting on 1 terabyte drives. So and they're talking about, it's still going. You're talking,
my man Clarence.
You're literally talking about, a terabyte, and it's the runtime to try to like convert it on here on Final Cut or Premiere or whatever. Like, it's a lot. However, and also the cost. So your SD drive, you might get for what, $12.99 or something. No, fuck that.
I don't even know.
This is $109 for a terabyte. Minimum.
Yeah.
So it causes you to be more intentional with what you capture. Just like in the film days, the reason that people have been so stringent in the past on, how you're on a tight schedule and this has to be perfect is because you are now wasting material that is expensive and costly.
You're limited on how much film you got.
Yeah. And that's why I think that us as a culture has gone down, like in quality wise, because we're so used to everything being like right there, right now. And we know that digital, I can look at it again and this is going to be perfect, or this is, I can do it again if it's not perfect. But in the world of film, you are now having to be very intentional on what you shoot. Having larger storages and hard drives is too much to lose. If I run out of space on my hard drive, there ain't no more space. Yeah. And you can't just buy it at the Walgreens. You got to find the Best Buy. Yeah, you have to more than likely special order it. Yeah. And it makes you just become more in tune with what it is that you're capturing and having more intention. So
true. No, I mean, that's a very thorough explanation, and I appreciate that. It makes a lot of sense, though, when you lay it out like that, because me not being a photographer, videographer, I'm not thinking about that kind of shit.
No, you're just...
Yeah. All right, cool. No. Airdrop, boom, done.
Yeah, no, there's something... there's a level of craft that goes into limited resources. Yeah. That comes out of that.
One shit, not to bring it back to Gene, but I think that the first time I met Gene, I think that's what I was most impressed with. I had never met a videographer who cared so much about the actual craft. Not just like getting a video, hey, look how cool you look. He was like, nah, let me
studies.
Like, step away for a second. Yeah. I need to do my thing, like a fucking mad scientist.
For me, a measure of anybody that I would be personally friends with is I watch how they study.
True.
People that are busy studying aren't busy on the gram. They're not busy showing you or showing off.
Flexing.
Because you're studying.
Yeah.
I respect people that study, because if we're so anxious to be seen, then what are we really doing this for? Are you doing it for the love? Or are you doing it, because you love your craft and you want to grow in it? Or are you doing this because you want to flex? And photography and videography has such a low barrier entry nowadays because the cameras are less expensive. Mm-hmm. And, it's a very low barrier of entry. And therefore, you have a lot of like imposters out there that are just like, I got a camera. Here's a cute girl that's willing to take a picture. And now I'm a photographer. But Gene is like, he don't even post nothing.
Old school with
He don't even post anything. We sit.
No, we get on him about that. Just because, I mean, I 100% agree with what you're saying, but I think just in today's day and age, especially with a digital art form like that, posting is not posting every minute, every fucking waking minute of every day type of thing, but once a week, maybe once a month even, just to kind of like show the work more or less.
I appreciate the enigma. What we don't know is either attractive to us or scary to us. And I would rather someone just be in their authentic selves and trying to like post it. I don't post nearly as consistently, and it's because I don't care. True. I care about learning, and I care about upping my equipment game, or I care about just
improving your craft.
Yeah. So that's for when it comes to him and anybody. Like, I'm just like, if anyone's listening that feels pressure to kind of show off their chops, know that if you do the work consistently and you build your relationships, we are in a digital world, but there's also a huge analog movement that's happening. And that analog is like putting your feet on the streets and really getting to cultivate relationships. Focus on cultivating those relationships, and those will also bring opportunities to you that are long lasting and not based off of what they see Because when we're looking through a screen, we're looking at a simulation. You're looking at something that's not real. You're looking at a representation of something.
Already in the metaverse.
You're already there. So instead of doing that, focus on your relationships. And he's a great example of you licking my face. She's so cute.
Rook's back.
But instead of doing that, he's focused on cultivating and maintaining his relationships. And that's, I think, is a great example. He's going to have every opportunity. He don't need to post nothing.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Well, like I said, I don't want to spoil what he's got going on right now, but he's killing it right now. And I haven't seen him post a single thing. And yeah, you're right. You're definitely right.
But the people that post too much, it's like, oh, okay.
Well, you can tell how much of it is kind of fabricated, too. So, obviously, I mean, this is a little different. Hang on. Hey, I'm recording a pod. Can I call you back? All right. What the fuck were we just talking about? That was my brother. Oh, yeah. No. All right. So, the fabricated fake shit versus... Nah, I don't care. But I saw something today that kind of reminded me of what you're talking about, more so related to not videography and photography, but the musician side of stuff, just the artistry. This time of the year, everyone's posting these Spotify raps, you know, the year, exactly, right? So, you know Mickey Fax? Mm-hmm. He posted this shit today that I thought was super dope, because he's an established artist, but for people who aren't in the know, may not, you know, you're not Jay-Z, you're not a fucking rapper, like, fuck out of here. But he posted this shit that I thought was super dope. It kind of speaks to what you're talking about. I'm going to try to read this quickly. It was just a quick little post.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm going to try to read it fast. He says, PSA musician friends, don't let social media trigger you into the comparison trap. A day after I played the Forum, I played a dive bar. I've gotten paid more money playing one corporate gig than 1 week on tour. I spent a whole day working with Def Leppard, listening to Rush rehearse next door, and then played a soul-crushing gig that night to only a bartender and doorman. I've done sessions in $1 million studios, also out of spare bedrooms. We all know how much festival gigs actually pay. I know techs who make more per gig than the actual musicians on stage. Fast forward. Point is, everyone's just working, whether you're working the corner bar, headlining Coachella, schlepping gear up a freight elevator, a hotel gig, or giving lessons. If you're making a living at this or even making some money at this, you're doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's fucking powerful.
Because it's like, you know, on Spotify, what the fuck, who the hell cares? You know, why things only matter because we make them matter.
Yeah.
And I was looking at several of my friends that were posting their raps, and what I noticed was, for anything like, you know, lower, it's like, well, this year, I know going into next year, I got to focus on blah, blah. And it's like, you don't have to make an excuse. Be proud.
Yeah, just be proud of
that
shit.
But you're making that excuse because you're suffering from the demon of comparison. Mm-hmm. And it's like, just shut up.
Be comfortable.
Why you got to post it?
That too.
If your numbers don't reflect something that you want to share, you just want to show that you're on Spotify?
Yeah.
Why don't you just shut up? And why don't you just focus on doing better the next time? You know, if that's your goal, then put that,
actually improve.
Make it your goal.
Yeah.
And shut the fuck up.
No, yeah.
For right now.
You heard it. Tyler said it first. Shut the fuck up.
That is literally the theme of 2020. That's it. Like, really, shut the fuck up. It's not that serious. Nobody cares. And that's another thing. We overestimate our value.
You think we overestimate our value?
I think we overestimate how much other people care. Like, not our personal value, but I'm talking about the marketability, sellability, our proximity to the outside world. How many people really will look at this and care that you streamed anything?
No, yeah. I think we also put too much importance of caring if other people care. You know what I mean?
That too.
I think that's the real, like, the root of it. Like,
that too.
Whether or not you care, like, if you care and you like it,
yeah,
sweet. You know what I mean? If not, all right, well, I did it anyway.
The clear marker for that, if you've overcome that, is not the need to post if your numbers don't reflect what you want them to reflect.
True.
Have you overcome the need?
Yeah.
You know, y'all ain't gonna see me post no numbers of how much Art and Soul does, even if it's sold out.
Quick sidebar, just because we're on music. Mm-hmm. Does Soul Bass Band have music out?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did. So I'm really picky.
Well, hold up. For the listeners, Soul Bass Band is Tyla's band.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll
funk. Yeah. Give a little.
I'll run it down. Soul Bass Band consists of it. The heart of it is me and my partner Robert Bradley. Keys, but he plays everything.
Yeah,
he plays
keys,
he plays drums, he plays bass, he played trumpet. He plays everything.
Fucking mastermind.
He even messed around with like lead guitar one time. So, and he wants to rap, but that's neither him nor there. No, he will not rap.
Come on.
No. But Soul Bass is everything based in soul. It's of the mind that all music is soul music because it took your soul. This music is the language of your soul.
Absolutely.
So as long as it's based in the soul, it is valid. It means anything. It can mean whatever you want it to be. We're pretty much genre free. So you'll catch us doing whatever we want. Like we've had a rock track out. We've had more experimental jazz, orchestral jazz. We've had the last album that's on Spotify was called Songs to Quarantine To. So during the lockdowns, me and Robert collaborated via FaceTime and put together an EP that just reflected how we felt like, but in music and electronic form. And we felt like going electronic and making the sound pretty big and futuristic. We used Amano Mari drum loops. Amano Mari is my idol, like, from the production standpoint, just because he changed the way that I listen to music and production. And as soon as he released the drum pack, I was like, yo, I want to do something with this.
This is mine.
Yeah. There's also something where it's like the drums are just tailored where I've designed how they're supposed to sound and their cadences, but big emphasis on strings and other instruments that we seem to kind of lose because we're so, I don't know, we're just so homogenized in our listening.
Well, yeah, everything's fucking computerized now. Yeah. All the most of the music we all listen to.
And ours is completely computerized because we don't have access to.
Well, not the live shows. That's why I love your guys' live shows.
So the reason why we do live the way we do it, it is meant to keep real music alive.
Fuck yeah.
I try not to say keep real music alive because I don't want to sound disparaging to other people that will listen to a Drake or anybody else and be like, no, this is real music. Yes, that is real music.
Keep traditional music alive, let's say.
It could be, but then who's tradition? So it's like, I don't say that anymore, but the point of it is, and if like Black culture, like you always grew up with somebody playing an instrument.
Playing something.
Now they've taken music out of the schools.
I heard that recently, actually.
Yeah, they've been taking music out of the schools, and that's just what it is.
But you know what's even more fucked up than that? Is me being a musician, I chose theater because it was the easy elective. Because looking back, I'm so fucking mad at myself. Yeah, trust me. But
theater's fun. But a theater is also very important.
I learned some things in theater.
I think that theater is great, and that we Uh-oh.
Now we're good. Anytime people go through the hallway door.
Hey.
But she ain't got time.
Come on. Bro. Come here.
Now you edit that out.
Yeah. Whatever.
But
probably leave it in. Fuck it.
Ruka. Hey. Come here.
It's always the little dogs that just got all the.
She's a part of the show, so if you're listening to the show, you know what the fuck is good. But yeah, back to instruments.
Yeah, so but growing up on the block, my mom used to have jam sessions, and we would open the doors.
Like everyone would come over with an instrument or something.
Yeah, because everybody knew how to play something. And now we're in the world where that's not true anymore. There was always an old man on the block with a guitar or somebody that played trumpet. I don't play that much anymore, but I could blow out a couple. We don't even have that no more.
Well, you know what I realized? I mean, I think you're right about that. And I think the few people who, despite how long they've been playing music, I feel like all over Twitter and shit, you see the one-man bands now. It's like you don't have one person or a single person doing every instrument. You have one person who, all right, I'm going to do my drums. Now I'm going to do my, which is cool. But it also,
But then you're losing
the community
we're
aspect of it.
We're focusing so much on hyper-individualism that we do lose the motor skills that you start developing when it comes to working with someone. That's great that people can be a one-man band, but
no social skills in that.
You don't get no social skills. And also want the purpose of a jam session. And
like
I was
the love.
That
the
too.
Vibe.
It's corporate energy. Corporate is always thought about like in business and your 9 to 5, but corporate is the group.
True.
And so
incorporating everybody.
Incorporating everyone. So corporate activities are important because it also helps you to sharpen your skills.
Yeah.
The jam sessions
are
integral because it forces you to get in where you fit in. It's not just about you or not just about how you normally play it. But what happens when you don't know these people? You don't even know where they're going to go. You are now tightening up your skills to get in where you fit in.
Freestyling.
And people that cannot get in where they fit in are hard to you can't adapt to many other things. You know, like you're lowering your chances or your ability to adapt.
Yeah.
The best way to learn how to adapt is in music because you are forced to be quiet. You're forced to sit still and observe and see how every
what's going on around you.
How everything is affecting the next. And then you're able to make a decision on how you are going to enhance that. That's the point. And when we're so focused on the individualism part, we're so focused on it's my time to shine. That's when you get fucked up. That's why a lot of people don't want to come on our stage and improvise because
I feel like that's a direct shot.
No, not you.
Just fucking
not you. No, but it's but that's how you sharpen your craft. And
well, now that I know, I definitely. Well, did you guys usually have your drummer with you? He wasn't there the last night.
Well, so the last jam session I did was of completely out the box new. That wasn't the family only, the jam moment.
Okay.
I decided to let family only the jam go because the place we were doing at Dexter's New Standard is now no more.
Yeah.
So I built that brand look feel with that. It didn't make sense to take that to Will's Pub. That brand was like a little bit more polished. We dressing up and jamming. You know, this here now is this is for the hip hop community. It's for the community that let me be me when I first came down here.
Okay. I want to get to that too, your transition.
Yes. So, so when we started doing this is my first time partnering with Palmer Reed. Shout outs to Palmer. Love you.
Shout outs to Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer's everything. But
he's from Orlando?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I don't know him at all.
You need to.
Well, yeah, I would love to meet him. But I heard about him completely non-music related at my job. This girl I work with, her boyfriend was friends with him. I don't know if they grew up together, but she was like, yeah, my I think it was her fiance at the time. She was like, he's good friends with Palmer Reed because she found out I did music.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of him. This was 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a small fucking world, you know?
It is very small. But that's, we wanted everybody, we wanted the family, it's so much division and divisiveness in this small, big community that we really wanted to have a night where you put your politics to the side because politics is a big problem here. Mm-hmm. Politics is just a big problem everywhere.
It's everywhere.
But down
we
here,
live here, so we see it.
It's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
That it's
gatekeeping.
Yeah. And I do believe in gatekeeping. A lot of people demonize words, and I've accepted not being a well-liked person.
Really?
Yes.
You? I feel like everybody loves you. I've only known you maybe a year or two, so maybe I don't know some things.
Child. I say things like, there is a necessity for gatekeeping. The only people that are upset about me saying that are people that wouldn't get through the gate.
True. So people are mad because you're speaking the truth.
Yeah, there has to be quality control.
Yeah.
Why are we doing any of this shit? You know, if you're not gonna put your best foot forward, then you need to sit down.
Well, because it goes back to what we were saying earlier.
Shut
Some
the
people
fuck
do
up.
it for the wrong. Well, definitely that.
Fuck
Some people do it for the wrong reasons. They're
Yeah.
doing it to be seen and be popular, whatever,
But
not because they love music or.
And we live in this world of toxic positivity.
Yeah, that's
where everything is high five you tried, good job. No, nobody's. When do y'all sit up here and say this needs to be improved, and you can't come up here until it is improved? Now that's the school I came from. I came from the school of you ain't ready to play.
No participation awards.
There is no participation awards. No. And why? And you should be insulted for getting a participation award.
Kids definitely are not, though. I'll tell you that.
No, you feel entitled to it. But it should be an insult that you weren't the best and that you didn't even try to be your best.
Yeah.
You know, but that's old school.
Yeah, but also I think it's because you and I are actually passionate about it, so we feel that way. The people who aren't, I can't put myself in your shoes because I don't even know where you're coming from. You know,
I think it's disrespectful.
It is
to just hop up on a stage or to hop behind the camera and say I'm this now, and you didn't put no real time before I even owned a camera. I shot on my cell phone for a long time. I created content. I filmed a music video on my cell phone.
Oh yeah.
That's what led to me getting my first
Tyla the
camera.
Creator. You see what I'm saying?
Not the mic drop. And interview's over. Proved the point. But and when I had a friend that owned JR, shout out to DJ JR. JR used to come to the crib. He had his Canon. I don't even remember what it was, but he used to let me borrow it and just play around with it. He'd do shoots of me. Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't even know or think that that's where I would be going with it yet. Mm-hmm. I knew I liked it and I wanted to learn. And I didn't just post everything. There were times where I would just go out and study.
You weren't taking pictures for likes.
No.
Basically. Because you were doing it.
And when I perceive that someone is doing something for likes, I don't respond to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist to me. It's not valid yet. It needs some more cooking. Would you eat raw chicken?
Fuck no.
All right. So it needs to go back in the oven, brown up a little bit, you know, get to this temperature, and then I'm going to pay attention to it. And that's one of the reasons why I started Art and Soul, because I feel that, unpopular opinion, there's a lot of people here that get the attention, but I don't feel like they are up to, they're not creating or setting a very high standard. And True. I feel like the people that are the dopest here are the ones that are getting overlooked and the ones that are getting treated like they don't matter.
Gatekept.
They're being gatekept. And it's because most of them have some semblance of integrity. They're not going to just kiss ass and just be friends with people just because it's a look. But these people have stood on their morals. They know where they are. They know who they are. And if that means I can't get on every stage, then that's what that means. And that's who I serve. That's who I amplify.
And that's why you're here tonight.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. Nah, I mean, yeah, again, I do appreciate you doing this so much, and I appreciate everything you're saying right now. And I agree with it, but you and I are in our 30s.
We's in the 30s.
You know what I mean? I
didn't know you were 30 what?
I'm 31. I look young, I know.
Oh, wow. Babies.
But I think a lot of artists, artists I know around here because I live here, you know what I'm saying? I do see a lot of young artists. Butter and I talk about this all the time. We go out to these open mics or whatever. A lot of times we'll pull up just to pull up, show love, you know what I mean? Check out the local talent. And I see kids wet behind the ears who are fucking super amped to be there. They want to.
Are they thirsty or are they hungry?
That's the difference. That's the difference. I think a lot of it's thirst. You can see the ones who are hungry though. There are a lot of young cats in this city that I fuck with because you can tell As soon as they get up there and grab that mic, it's like, all right, this motherfucker's for
and
real.
Shout out to Butter, because Butter's one of the hungriest people I know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Butter.
Happy birthday.
Damn right.
That man eats.
And rightfully so, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, him and I talk about this shit all the time. Like, out of all the people I met in here, why you think me and him are such good friends? You know?
Well, one thing my mama taught me, my mom used to go to a lot of open mics. She's a singer, and
I remember.
Were you at the last one?
At City Arts, yeah, we were both there.
So, oh yeah, you got to see the ugly cry. Yay.
Nah, hey.
But she had thyroid cancer. I was like in my teens, and they had to remove like 80% of it, and they nicked her vocal cords. And I remember her literally going to sing do re mi fa, and she couldn't sing.
Like soon after the surgery.
Yeah, for years, and she kept practicing. And she was so ashamed to go to the jam session. She wouldn't go.
She sounded good.
She sounds good
now.
She sounded
good
but
the
she
other night.
practiced her ass off. But she also knew to stay quiet until it was time.
To let it heal?
Yeah, she had to heal and practice.
Yeah.
And in that, her voice actually completely changed. Her singing voice is completely different from when it was before they nicked it. So she had to find her new style. But anyway, she started going around the set again when I was in my early 20s. And one thing she told me, I was like, she would take me around with her. And I'm like, you're not going to sign up and go sing? And you know, something that she said that changed my life was, I never signed up to go on open mics. And I said, well, why not? Why not? She says, you're either inviting me to sing or I'm not singing. Because I would rather for people to say, oh, she's here, she's singing, than she's here to sing again. So when I see these open mic kids, it's something that I wish I could share with them. Like, yo,
that's deep though.
You know, you could sit down. You could. She was like, maybe once or twice, you know, every other month or so, I might come up there. I'm gonna sing one song. I'm gonna sit down. She was like, watch, they're gonna ask me to come back up. and she says, to be invited is power.
That's fire.
But
she knows her power.
And
obviously.
she knows it.
Yeah.
And she doesn't mind withholding.
Yeah.
And amazing. When we're so focused on giving, showing off, you don't understand. You are a commodity to these venues. You have a lot of power, but you relinquish it when you're so busy trying to just throw it away.
Get a post, get a story off.
Yeah. Sit down.
That's crazy.
And for me,
I need your mom on the pod.
My mom would just be here. Yeah, I said it, bitch. You know, that'd be her. But she, and the time that she talked about it, sure enough, Sarita, you ain't gonna sing nothing? She said, please. Sarita, please. Okay, yeah, sure. What do y'all want me to sing? Knowing damn well she want to sing. But it's better, and the response is better. It's better to make yourself scarce. If we learn about supply and demand, if there's too much of your fucking supply, then the demand goes down. Hold it back. Create quality content. Don't drop music every 5 seconds. Drop one song. Create quality visuals for that song. Talk about the behind the scenes. Create the culture around that one song. And watch things start coming to you. Versus just putting out meaningless shit and it doesn't make sense. You're just dropping albums. Who the fuck drops LPs in 2021? Except Drake.
Yeah.
But you're not Drake. Don't put out LPs. And Drake shouldn't put out LPs. You know, do your singles or do a very small EP and focus on telling the story. But that involves being intentional before you even step into the studio, you have to be intentional.
Speak with conviction.
Yeah. What story am I here to tell? Once I tell this story, what is my hope for this story? How do I want it to impact the world? And when we start thinking like that, then we know that we shouldn't be putting just anything out there. We're going to be more consistent. We're going to be more cognizant of what we're putting out. And that's my hope for artists. Just think about it and making yourself scarce. Focus on doing shows that make sense. You don't just hop around from here to here to here to here. Mm-hmm. That's why Soul Base doesn't just hop around from here to here to here to here. And we've been asked, but right now,
you know what's for you.
I know it's for me. And I want something where I'm in control of it. Y'all have now seen enough about 360 deals. You know how these venues work.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all have been around enough to see this now. It is open information. So now what we need to do is build the culture around your project. One project a year. And that's it. And if you can master building that project out and dropping that project a year and know how to create the culture around that, that includes your merch, because streaming does not make you money.
Facts.
You have to have you some merch.
Trust me.
Why are you not walking around with a printout with a QR code sticker on the back of your phone? If you can't afford the little pop-up things that go on the back of your phone that you just wave it over the other phone and it gets you everything, put a QR code sticker on the back of your phone that leads to your link tree that has your Spotify, your YouTube, and everything else. Yep. But you would have to have been intentional first, because you ain't thinking about that if you just want to be seen.
You heard it. No, you're absolutely right. Fucking dropping gems here tonight.
Yeah, you know.
Brooke, you hear these fucking gems over here? She's finally beat out here.
She's quiet. She's tired now.
I realized I have a couple of things I still want to ask, but I realized I forgot to do this rapid fire at the beginning.
Oh yeah, whatever you want.
Well, normally when we start,
where's the one by itself? Thank you, sir. Grazie.
So rapid fire, I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to throw two things at you. You got to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hot or cold?
Hot.
Left or right?
Left.
Day or night?
Night.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Tacos or burgers?
Tacos. Look, he's over here making faces at me. You need to leave the room now. I don't feel comfortable. He's like, bitch, you better say hot. I sleep with a heater on and a blow dryer underneath my sheets if it's too cold.
Damn, that's intense. Fruit or veggies?
Fruit.
Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Okay.
Yeah. I never go there, but I prefer that.
Yeah.
The idea of it. Yeah. Yeah. I like the idea.
I'm not mad at that. I fuck with both, but I feel you. Coffee, yeah, you can hold that if you want.
Grazie.
Coffee or tea?
Ooh. Tea.
Okay. Booze or buds? While you spark up buds. All right, indica or sativa?
I don't know the difference. Everybody tells me it's a difference. I have not experienced the difference. I'm not a connoisseur.
Well, so, I mean, chances are anyone selling it, whatever they tell you it is, usually it's going to be bullshit anyway.
Yeah.
But, I mean, sativa is supposed to be more of a cerebral, you're not sleepy. Indica is kind of body like.
I like downers.
So indica.
I like all downers.
Indica.
Like if heroin wasn't super deadly, like I would do that. It wasn't
going to kill me.
I'd do it.
Hey.
Just like,
fuck at it.
Yeah.
I bet. So indica.
Yeah. Make me a non-addictive heroin. I'm there.
Fair enough. Hey, they might be working on it somewhere.
It might be.
You never
now I
know.
don't trust it. Just here's legal heroin. It's just fine. That's the tagline.
I don't know how we got to heroin, but all right, heroin or crack? No, I'm kidding.
Heroin, I said.
That was not on the list for the record. Hip hop or classic rock?
Classic rock.
Okay. Reggae or dancehall?
Dancehall.
Oh shit, that was quick. All right, so classic.
I love the ratchet shit. Give me the ratchet shit.
So, for classic rock, Beatles or Stones?
Ew. Doobie Brothers And Steely Dan.
There you go. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
Doobie them.
I don't remember putting this one on here. Foreign car or fancy boat?
Foreign car, probably.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I can't swim.
Fair enough. Hopefully the boat doesn't sink. You don't have to swim.
I don't trust it.
All right.
I watched Titanic like way too many times.
TV or movies?
TV. And we're watching like Real Housewives of Atlanta, like from season 1 all over again.
Nice.
Yeah, I put him on. Now he has an opinion of Kenya.
I never watched it, but I heard, what's the spoof on that? The Real Husbands of Hollywood. I heard that shit's coming back.
It's actually very funny.
No, I love that show.
It's very funny.
That show's hilarious. I never watched like the real Housewives.
It's so trash, but I love it.
It's just like mindless TV.
It's horrible.
Word.
It's bad for you, and it's not a good representation of black people or any people. It's not a.
I mean, reality TV is.
It's just
reality
bad.
TV in general is a horrible representation of people.
So, but my thing is, as long as you know, and I'm not watching this and making decisions influenced by them, it doesn't matter. I just had to say that before somebody listens to it and be like, yeah, bitch, I like to watch nonsense.
Yeah, fuck out of here.
You heard this deep conversation prior to, like, we got to unplug. Like,
yeah, no, that's a fact.
Balance.
I think we all got our little guilty pleasures.
Oh.
Book or audiobook?
Book.
Facts.
I like to smell the pages and turn the pages. And when I'm listening to an audio,
it's a tangible item.
Yeah, and also think about it like this. If the government or anybody decides to pull the plug on the internet,
still got your books.
You still have your books, and you still need your DVDs.
We were talking about over Thanksgiving how like they have the audacity to ban books anywhere, school, whatever. Like, how the fuck are you gonna tell me what I can read? That's just a wild concept to me. You can't read this. It was published and everything, but you can't fucking read this.
I don't know. Some things need to be banned because there was one.
You can just not read it though.
That is true. That is true. That's true. I don't think. Yeah, I think that right now we're in a really ugly time where your personal choice is being like impeded upon. Like, you should have, just like even music, like you want to get mad about this person or that person making this type of music, little bitch, turn the channel.
Yeah, just turn it off.
Nobody's my children, and I can't stop my children from anything. And that's why you teach your children the right way to go. So when they're listening to it, they know that this is fantasy.
Well, it's like that video. You remember that video when it went viral? The lady is crying, reading these rap lyrics that offended her so much with cursing and stuff. And she's reading it in front of her kid. It's like, you don't see... My kid heard this on the radio, and she's literally reading it word for word. Like, how is this played on the radio? Her kid's sitting there like... It's dumb shit like that.
Your children should be able to break down every bit of fuck shit that they hear. Especially, like, when it comes to, like, oh, I got drugs or I got chains. I have them chains fake. Like, my kids will sit there and be like, fake chains. They should just be taught to be aware of themselves and the world.
Well, because some people actually talk to their kids like humans, and others talk to their kids like teddy bears.
And now you have a whole fucking generation of teddy fucking bears that don't know what reality is. Yeah. And then they're the ones that are crying when they get sunned on the fucking open mic stage because they couldn't sit the fuck down.
Got them.
And hone their craft.
Hey.
Teddy bear generation.
No lies were told here tonight.
Now we sound like boomers. Like you sound like old people back in my day. You used to get cussed out and be okay with it.
Walking uphill barefoot in the snow, you heard?
Dead ass.
No, you gotta get up. Nah, you're straight, bro.
Yeah, he could just cut to the other camera since you. Oh wait, never mind.
No, it's all
just
good.
gonna be everywhere.
You're good.
That's fine.
I already got up to get the dog, man. This is.
We can just cut
not
this part
professional
out.
around here. It's all good.
Look at him waddling his big ass all across the screen. No, I'm just kidding. Cut that out.
That is definitely staying in there. You weird.
That's how I talk. I'm so mean.
No, it's all good. We keep it real around
Am
here.
I passing this?
I mean,
yes.
she won't hit it. She doesn't like papers.
You like the.
I'll hit it if you want to pass it.
I'm going to pass it because if not, I'll be slumped on this couch and ain't no more interview happening. I'll just be sitting there like.
I'll let it chill for a sec. Next one. Fly or teleport?
I really was just praying for a teleportation device the other day. Mm-hmm. I don't like flying.
Answers might be I don't know if you played video games as a kid. NFL Blitz or NBA Jam?
NBA Jam.
Nice.
But actually, it was March Madness. NCAA March Madness for me.
That was the game?
That was my game on PS2.
PS2.
2003.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely had those two on the fucking Dreamcast back in the day.
You had that one?
The Dreamcast.
Because remember you could...
I got Gamecast.
Gamecast. Do you remember you could break the backboard?
On NBA Jam?
No.
Oh, on
March Madness.
NCAA? Really?
Yeah, you could have...
I don't know if I ever had that one.
You could break the backboard if you went straight down and
Just
like
fucking-
hard. Yeah, and it would just shatter.
That's fire.
And it would like play it in three, like slow motion, 3 different angles. And my sister would score on me. I'm like, bitch, hit X. I don't want to see this.
I know I had the NBA or NCAA football game. I don't know if I had the basketball game.
And NBA Street.
NBA Street was
Def
fire.
Jam Vendetta, Tony Hawk.
Definitely Tony Hawk.
Like, but I had something called Airblade, which was Tony Hawk, but with it wasn't him on it, but it was just skateboarding, but with hoverboards.
Nice, futuristic Tony Hawk.
And like dystopian Gotham City like settings. It was dope.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard
and
of that
Pac-Man.
shit. Pac-Man was always fire. I had a Pac-Man shirt on fucking yesterday. Barney or Big Bird? Arthur, word. All right. That's fair. That's fair. Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers?
Power Rangers. I was a Power Ranger girl.
Word.
I didn't like the idea of the giant rat thing.
Fucking Master Splinter?
Yeah, I didn't like that at
That's
all.
my dog.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate or vanilla?
I love vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm lame.
Podcast or radio?
Podcast.
Word.
Yeah, I love the voice of the people.
Fair. Salsa or guacamole?
Salsa. I hate avocado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, since we said it earlier, I don't know. You might know the other one. Tony Hawk or Shaun White? You know Shaun White?
I know Shaun White.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk.
Okay, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
He's the OG.
Yeah.
Smoothie or milkshake?
Smoothies.
Nice.
He's a milkshake guy.
Yeah.
I
fuck with both.
And he said it with the accent too. Shut
Banana.
up.
We were just smoking some fucking banana backwoods the other night. Shout out to Quan. Some bananas.
Hey,
yeah.
Quan.
Yeah.
Tell Quan I love him.
Yeah, you can tell him
better
yourself.
watch this.
Nah, I think Quan watches every episode.
Good.
Him and shouts to Quan. Him and Pun they're starting their own podcast. No pun intended. It's gonna be
That is cute.
the title.
Okay.
I've been getting on their ass about putting it out, but it's coming.
Oh, I love it.
All right, last two. Apple or Android? You have a Droid, don't you?
No, I have an Apple.
Your bubbles are green.
Because
Oh.
I discontinued my phone service. I got tired of people calling me.
How's that work?
So I just have a Google Voice number now. I don't have a personal phone number, and that way I can completely turn it off if I need to.
That's fire.
I was like,
outside the box.
if I'm at home, then it's on Wi-Fi, and if I'm not at home and I'm not available and I don't have Wi-Fi, then it wasn't meant for you to call me. You send a text message and I get it when I get home. But I got tired of people having too much access to me. Yeah.
Like I said, no lies were told here tonight.
It's like sometimes we have way more choices than we want to take responsibility for. Like I think sometimes we get married to our trauma, our stresses, our pain, and it's almost like you're doing this ritual where you're keeping yourself inconvenienced and annoyed and stressed out and fatigued.
Making excuses.
Yeah. And when you could just be like, I don't need a phone. Do I feel like paying $150 a month? Can I afford it? Yeah, I can afford it. Do I want it? No. What else can that go towards?
True.
Just no. Get you
Priorities.
a house. Get a house phone. And that's another thing. We have to start undigitizing ourselves.
You remember a house phone? You got to call your friend's house. Hey, is Tyla home?
Yes. But then also you have the option to take the call or not.
Yeah, exactly.
But I get tired of people calling me. Like my phone ringing, it stresses me out.
True.
And my social battery goes very flat very quickly. And my old number, I just knew that it was so many people in my past that could easily send that, hey, stranger text. And I didn't want that anymore. And there was like, well, then you could just change your number. It's like, how about I just don't have a number? And if you can access me,
grid.
Yeah, if you can access me, then you were meant to. And if you can't, it wasn't for you. And that's where I'm at.
That's a fact, though.
That's called being 33.
Hey,
that's old. Like we're getting older and shit, and it's like, nah.
Nope.
It's good.
Thought about it and no. Nah, that is true. People don't know the power of the word no. It's a wrap.
It's not even in focus. Oh, now she posing. Get out of here.
Yeah, she's a little prima
ham.
donna. All right, last one.
Don't say Pepsi or Coke.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
It is food, though.
Oh.
Creamy or crunchy peanut butter?
Nan.
You don't like peanut butter? I should ask that first.
Peanut butter. Unless it's in like a Butterfinger. I can do that.
True.
But that's...
Do you not like peanuts? Or like just the stickiness is weird you out or something?
I ate too much of it as a child.
You OD. I definitely OD'd on like Apple Jacks and some certain foods.
Ketchup, ramen noodles, white bread, American cheese.
And peanut butter. That's fair.
All the shit that you can get on Wick.
I
can't drink. I can't eat. Can't drink it.
You're not like allergic or anything.
No juicy juice. None of the shit that you can get with food stamps like easily.
Word.
You know them Wick cards, the Wick coupons. Oh well, yeah. They printed them out like checks, and it would tell you like you could get apple juice or juicy juice or Kicks or checks, but the checks couldn't have any flavor on it. It had to be the original, no checks. Sugar. Yeah. Word. Or Cheerios or Frosted. Like it had to be just the most plainest of the plain, eggs, and then that other stuff. So I'm like, done. And peanut butter.
This is back in Chicago?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Oh Lord.
Well, I wasn't sure if you had moved here like for videography, photography and shit, like career stuff, or if family or...
No, I was living at home and I met somebody and wanted to be with him. He lived down here. He was from Chicago, but he lived primarily here. And I moved and we were going to get married. And 2 weeks before the wedding, he called it off via social media and also sent me like moving home and went home.
Oh, damn.
And stayed for 9 months. He changed his mind. I said, all right, came back here, started building up my like contacts because everybody before I knew was like his friend. So when he left, there was almost no pouring out. It was like everybody turned their back on you because that's their friend. So... it was horrible, but, I made a mistake. And then I was like, all right, but I already knew that if you run one time, you're probably going to do it again. And he definitely did less than 6 months later. And, but I had to, I made my own friends. That's how I met Mateen. And that's how I met all of y'all, is through him. So I met him like during the days where we were at Vinyl Arts Bar. It used to be on Colonial. And we would... right
up the street.
Yeah. And that's how I met him. And just like having those type of people, like making my own friendships when he left again, it was a lot easier. I had to get a job because I was maintaining a house. And I didn't have an idea what I wanted to be. But when I moved here... I was only qualified to be a secretary. I was working temp jobs left and right. I had a temp agency that I had worked for years, and it just kept me working, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. And when I came down here, I went back to temp working. After the dude left the second time, met my husband, and then that's how I started getting more into the art culture scene down here. And then I was seeing that in the group that I was affiliated with, there was a need for reliable capturers. And I was there kind of as like a little party girl, and I'm like, oh, I'm here, y'all should come out. It was doing real well. I filmed a music video for one of the members of this group, and someone else hit me up saying, I saw the video you did for him. Can you do a video for me? And I was like, I can't show up. We'll pay you $1,000. At the time, that's a lot of money.
Hell yeah.
Now I can't wipe my ass with $1,000. So it's fine. But at the time, it's like $1,000. My rent's $1,000. You know. Out. Yeah. So, and I'm crying to him on our lunch break, having a cigarette.
Having a cig.
And I was like, look, I could be shooting this, but I can't show up to no $1,000 music video and to shoot. And I only got my iPhone 6 at the time. And he was like, well, what camera is it? And I got back to my my desk, and he had sent me a confirmation that he had bought my first camera. And that's how that unfolded. And then from there, but that's how I came down here.
And that's how you built your
everything
fucking
else.
empire.
In the empire, yeah, they got to make some money first, child. It has to plunder somebody else's riches outside of mine.
True. Well, you're definitely on your way.
Yeah, thank God.
Definitely on your way.
But I stayed consistent, and I didn't have to be the star all the time. That was the lesson for me.
No, absolutely. I mean, that goes back to what we were saying.
I just had to bring it home for anybody listening. It happens from being quiet. You know, and just get it, you know, I learned to be private after being embarrassed.
We all got to get humbled every now and then, you know.
Very much so. I was very embarrassed, and, you know, and I can say embarrassed at the time because now there's no shame. You talk about it.
You came out breathing, you know.
Yeah. Yes. And there was a lot of suicide ideation and depression and a lot of mental health issues. Yeah, I'm still here kicking the child for now. but it was but it comes in being honest with myself, and then just getting quiet and getting centered and really becoming intentional with what I was doing. And it worked out.
It definitely worked out. Nah, I mean, damn, I got much deeper than I thought it was going to, but I appreciate your honesty.
I'm a Leo. Oh, it was deep. I don't know. I don't think of anything as deep. It just is.
It is.
Things just are.
What is to be must be.
And all of us suffer from something, you know.
That's a fact.
So I don't think it's deep. Weed cough.
Yeah, you want this?
Yes. But yeah, no, I there's no such thing as deep. It's just our human experience.
No, I mean that is a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. So then, what got you into curating the art shows? Let's get into that bag. That Birkin. That is a Birkin.
Okay.
Because that's like a whole, I mean, literally before you, I don't think I've ever known anyone who's curated an art show. I don't even know if I knew what that was. To be frank.
So I'm gonna try to make it shorter. But when I was with that group with vinyl at the Vinyl Arts Bar, that's how we started. The guy that ran it started. At first, it started with us just rapping in underground hip hop scene. Mm-hmm. The next thing I know, he was a very charismatic person and had all these ideas about if we don't understand this, then the third, if we just did this could lead to this. One of the conversations that we had was about how entertaining and arts are, if anything goes down in the U.S., like shutdowns or, you know, artists and entertainers historically have had an easier time, you know, with traveling and maneuvering through things. You
can create something out of nothing.
You can, and also like from a social status point of view, you know, it's I'm not gonna go that deep, but it's pretty deep. Why? You know, to get into art, it serves as protection. It can, you know, and it has. So he started wanting to sell this art and started dealing with all these artists, and he was in the art scene. He's putting together all these art shows, and we ended up fellowshipping with Orlando Museum of Art. a big lesson. He was the co-chair, but was getting like ideas from us, the crew, on what we would like to see. And he put one of my ideas, Age of Aquarius, as a theme on the table for Orlando Museum of Art, and they accepted it. As and we came in there, we had our music, we had dancing, and I shot a big like promo, like I really wanted to make a cinematic type trailer for this art show. And we did that. They posted it. I took pictures. Got no credit for it. The next time we were at Orlando Museum of Art, it was for Indigenous Futurism. And they had, I made these headdresses and crowns, and it was a big deal. Like, everybody was talking about it. And I had, brought my talents. I brought my talents and gifts to it. And the headdress that I made actually made the cover of Orlando Weekly, and I wasn't credited again. And they were interviewed at NPR, and I wasn't credited again. So this was a pattern.
How long ago was this?
This was in 2018.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. 2019, I'm doing stuff. I'm giving my all. I'm like really, I put in so much sweat equity with this group, and I found that was the first semblance of family that I felt that I had, but I wasn't getting the credit. I wasn't getting enough thank you, and I wasn't getting public acknowledgement. One thing that I learned from that experience was to make sure that you give people public acknowledgement. It's not enough to say thank you in person. It's not enough.
Yeah, get your just due.
When you have put in work in a public event where you are getting publicly praised, you must give credit to the other people that helped to get you there.
Yeah.
And I went through years of contributing to this group and not receiving the just, like, to other people one-on-one, he would big me up and he might talk shit at the same time. And then, but in public, NPR is getting interviewed, my name's nowhere near mentioned. And it was like getting to be bad. So in 2020, the last straw came. Asked me to do some work for free, or for mostly for free, and I did it, and then wanted some more work, heavily discounted, but I needed the money. Then I was told, well, they don't really like you like that. They shit on you. Well, why are they, if you my people, then why are they allowed to shit on me in front of you? And what did you do about it? And I knew that I was getting to a point where I was about done. And I walked away that day. It was one day, big ass blow up. And the whole time I was afraid that if I left that group, I would never be able to do what he does. Because he's always felt like he knew everybody. He was always having a meeting with somebody. You was out in the mix. So I'm a woman with 2 children and a husband and a home. And a full-time business that I got to work. So it's like, how am I supposed to do what you do?
Yeah.
I'm never going to have those opportunities. And that's why I stayed for so long, because I felt like there's no way I could do what you do. Like, there's something about you that's way more thorough than me. I could never do that. But I got disrespected one time, too many. And I remember that day I called Matane and I called Gene, and we went to go sit by some water because Gene was there when the blow up happened. He was about to whoop some ass if he needed to. And
Gene again.
And we right. And I remember having the conversation, well, what do you need to do? That was asked to me.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And this is Tyla's
branch
view.
Off and
it's like, I don't even know where to start. I need a master trailer. I've only shot a wedding one time, and I want to do another wedding, Or matter of fact, at that point, I had never even shot a wedding. How am I supposed to get weddings to make because that's where the money's at. If I can get a lick on weddings, I'll be straight.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, well, what else do you need to do? And I'm like, I need to do this. I need to do. All right. So we're going to make sure you get it done. August 2020. So that was in May of 2020.
Okay.
August of 2020 or July 2020, I run into Peterson Guerriere. Shout out to Peterson at Red Tape. He was at City Arts. At my friend Steven Versus, who also has a dope ass podcast, Overheard Orlando. He says, come meet me at City Arts. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to City Arts. And I see Peterson. I haven't seen Peterson since the year before. This is after, the pandemic and everybody's back outside. I hadn't seen him since the fall of the last year. And I had been told that, he wasn't fucking with me like that, which wasn't true. And I saw him, he's doing his show. And he was like, yeah, I'm trying to put photographers on. You can definitely show here. He was showing in the cafe. He was curating pieces in the cafe in City Arts. You want to do next month, which would be August 2020. I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And I put up my first, I was like, I don't know what to do.
That was My Beautiful Dark.
That's before that.
Okay.
It was in August. That one was in
winter.
That was in January of this year.
Yeah.
And so me and Gene got together with someone else. I said, Gene, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna shoot for this show, but I'm gonna do video and I'm gonna do photo. I don't know what we're gonna do. Let's just go downtown and shoot. He was like, you got it.
Let's do it.
And we ended up shooting something gorgeous. And I shot a black and white trailer, and I knew that I wanted to do this. Like, I want to make pieces. Again, I always say create the culture around, but it's like the trailer is the door opener. It's like, wait, what is that?
Yeah.
It's something cinematic looking. It's something that kind of catches you. It's like, wait, what's that about? And then you come to the event, and then you're experiencing this event, and then you come out of it with pictures and this recap that's cinematic as fuck. What was that about? We came up with it then. So the next month in October, I'm almost done. The next month in October, I had my first art show at Red Tape, but it wasn't hanging art. It was performance art. So I had people that were doing spoken word, storytelling, and we just dressed up. It was during the Day of the Dead festival that City Arts does, and we wanted to show the African side of the Day of the Dead, which was met with a lot of shade from the former people that I was working with. Like, it was bad, even to like the point where I felt like there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. We're trying to shit on it. And me.
They used to be in charge of City Arts, you're saying?
No. This was just the group that
you used to fuck with.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No.
Because the one lady at City Arts seemed cool as shit.
They are very caring. And they are open and curious and excited and enthusiastic about art.
True.
No, so, and I appreciate their enthusiasm.
I feel you.
But this one, the main storyteller's son died the day before the actual show we were supposed to do.
Damn.
And it was like a clusterfuck, but we pulled through it. It's like a rickety plane. It's like we landed. But from that point on, people were asking people at City Arts why we hadn't collaborated yet. Have you heard of Tyla? Why haven't y'all worked together?
Just like you were saying about your mom.
Yeah.
Came requested.
I didn't come in there asking them what I can do. And in November of 2020, Barbara Hartley called me and said, Tyla, I have a challenge for you. Curate this show in January, which would be My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And I did.
It was awesome. That was the first one that I went to.
That's the baby there. Yeah. I forgot to mention that when I was working for the previous conglomerate, I interned for 2 months at Mills Gallery. On Mills, it's like so you know where Grape and the Grain is, right? You know that apartment building, like right there. When you go, if you're going down towards Princeton.
Yeah, the newer one.
Yeah, it's like it's an art gallery on the bottom of it with like this giant cube.
Okay.
So anyway, I interned there.
Okay.
And dealt with this really racist, sexist, crazy man, Boris. And yeah, and He taught me a lot, but one thing I found out he said about me was she wants to be a curator so bad she's trying to take my place.
Oh, so he was threatened by you.
Yeah, and I wasn't even thinking about that. I was at the time, and that was 2018. I was literally just trying to learn about art because I didn't get it. It's something I'm like, I don't understand what yet. And so I interned for him, and I was able to take some of the notes that I learned from my time there to apply it to my beautiful dark twisted fantasy. And then we had Ha'ani there to help me, literally teaching me how to measure and hang correctly, and just what goes into curation. And one thing she said was nobody really took the time. Other curators have come and not taken the time to actually hang the art. And I was like, if I can't tell the story, if I pick this art out and I can't tell the story and I can't lay it out and say where it goes, you know, there's an energy exchange here, and I want to complete that by hanging it physically on this wall. And I know it's like too deep for people, but it's like, no, but what are we doing this for?
Yeah.
You trusted me with your art. These
you want
people
me to curate it, let me fucking curate it.
Let me curate it. And I'm going to treat your pieces with care.
Yeah. Because
I care about your story and your representation. The art show was not all Black people. I left it open. I felt like when I was asked to do the show, I think everybody was expecting some African style form, you know, because I had just done that indigenous futurism with the crowns. I was doing the African storytelling, and I felt like, nah.
Didn't feel like doing that.
No, because having a Black show, well, I'm a Black person, so it's going to have all the sauce of a Black person being a part of it because I'm running it and curating it. So why then do I have to create a theme that's just all Black people?
Yeah.
I don't feel like that. So, and I want to show that I could be, I had taste levels that exceeded what you would think, you know? So I left it open like that. And some people still called it my Black fantasy. And I was like, yeah, it was like, no, it wasn't about Black people at all.
It was fire.
I filmed the cinematic trailer again for it. I filmed 2 of it. And it was one of the busiest nights that City Arts has had. Like, it was nut to butt crowded in there. It was one of the most busiest nights. And we were afraid of it not being full because it's right after the new year. It's the new year, you know.
Yeah.
Top of the year, you know, and we didn't expect it to, and it was crowded.
Yeah, I remember.
So, and that's how I got started. So it's culminated now into View House Gallery, which is a series of pop-ups. The gallery is the people. It's not we're the gallery, you know. And my goal eventually is to obtain a physical brick and mortar space. But even when we do, we're still going to focus a lot on pop-up events. So I launched that. It's a nonprofit. The artists get 100% of what they submit, you know. Yeah, I don't take a cut. That's not the norm. Yeah. And that doesn't make me a good guy either. You should want to split some of your earnings with the gallery. They have to pay overhead. They have bills to pay. They
almost like rent, sort of.
Yeah, it is rent. Yeah. You know, and you're running the potential to sell. You should want to give them something. Yeah. So don't think that I'm a Robin Hood. Like, that's not the case. I just know, for me, it's my gift to you to not charge you the overhead, but don't expect that. So the View House Gallery is split into 2 segments, and it's the master classes and the pop-ups. The classes is the work. They get quiet, do the work. You're not going to see no pictures of you doing the work, right? Your graduation culminates in the gallery pop-up, the event. We literally curate the space. We curate how it smells. So for the last one that we just did at down the street, we had special wine glasses. Everybody got a headshot. Every artist got a headshot. Their art was captured and sent to them the next day. You know, how many people can say that they have walking electronic press kits? Yeah. You know, and that's what all of us need. It don't matter if you're just a painter or if you're an artist, but you need to be able to say, hey, please hire me. This is my headshot. This is a representation of what I've been doing. This is the art.
EPK.
Yes, an EPK. It's
electronic press kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a free EPK.
Nice.
And that's meant for you to be able to have better chances at submitting to these galleries, better chances at submitting to these grants, because there's so much money and so many opportunities that are available to us, but we don't know. And sometimes we don't have the confidence. I know personally, if I have a portfolio to back me up, I can talk with a little bit more confidence. And if I can offer that portfolio to an artist and help them along in their journey, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good spot as any to end it. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to add, Miss Tyla, Queen Tyla?
No, I want to just say thank you to my husband.
Shout out to Billy.
He does like so many like behind the scenes things that I don't often like. You know, you get used to your family members, so you just kind of like, yeah, they're supposed to be there, but no, you don't have to do it. He drives me everywhere almost, and he takes pictures. He won't do video, but but he's literally like physically learned how to take pictures in order to support me on my journey. So like all those pictures on my Instagram, like that's him taking those pictures of me
behind the scenes.
Yeah. Or it's Gene whenever he's here, but he ain't here. So Bill has to do it, or my girl Bloom Theory. So I just want to say thank you. And then to my children, thank them, because they keep me like human.
Oh yeah.
And because it's easy to get into power games when you out here, you know, your bad ego can kind of take over. So being with my children like reminds me that like, no, you have more work to do.
True.
You ain't there yet.
Still living this human experience.
Yeah. You are a human. And not only that, but you're a woman, and it's valid and it's okay.
Oh yeah.
So I just want to say thank you. And thank you to you for like letting me talk about whatever.
No, of course. You're welcome back anytime.
Yeah.
This is an open forum. Like I said, love having people on here. We gotta, maybe if you and I both talk to Gene, we can convince him to come on. I might have to call this the Gene episode. Just to peer pressure him to come on.
Call it the Gene episode. But yeah, like it's and the last thing is I just want to encourage everybody to be unapologetically yourself, because that's what gets you. And it sounds so cliche, but
there's only one you.
The minute that I really believed in the power of myself and my ability to get things done, and I really believe, I speak nicely to myself now. And when I changed my verbiage and my language with myself, the world opened up to me. And
you talk to yourself more than you talk to anybody.
Yes. And so
you gotta speak positive.
It has to be objective. It has to make sense. It has to, don't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
But sit down and be honest with you and know where you're at and be efficient. I feel like the reason why I've experienced any type of success is because people call me because they know that I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. No excuses. I don't even give excuses no more. It's just, if I couldn't live up to it, my apologies. Let me do better next time. But do what you say you're going to do.
Man or a woman of your word, absolutely.
And shut the fuck up.
And shut the fuck up. Fuck out it. All right. Episode 64. We getting out of here. Tyla, appreciate you being here.
Thank you. So it can either be Shut the Fuck Up or the Gene episode. Shut the fuck up, a.k.a. the Gene episode.
Shut the fuck up. Peace.
I swear to God.
kPodcast. That's a wrap. Sayonara. Adios. Fuck out. Thanks for listening. Hasta luego. Thanks for tuning in. You don't have to go home. You just can't stay here, alright? Peace.